Good evening, race fans, and welcome to BSTV. You've joined us again, hopefully, for the TCR Challenge. This is season 12, and we're on rounds 19 and 20. I'm Pete Bing-Chillin, and I'm in the booth with Sir Alan of Toon. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
This one's going to be tasty. We're at Laguna Seca, folks. It's in everybody's toolbox because it was a free track right from the start. You do loads of laps around here as a rookie. But we have a very, very hot track, Alan. 43 degrees.
Oh, you what?
Yeah.
That's going to be tasty.
It's going to be a bit slippy and slidey for quite a number of laps. Let's see where we are. We've just entered into qualifying, and we've got some new names to cover before we go through the standings, Alan.
Exciting.
Yeah, we've got Lee Bowden in. He's usually racing in the SRL league. I'm gonna do a bit of plug-in for that league because they're a great bunch of guys. They race on a Friday evening, quite late in the evening. Too late for me. I'm usually all horlicked up by then, Alan. I think it's about 9:30 at night, and they do 3 20-minute races with lots and lots of reversing of grids throughout that 3 sessions. I'll get more details in order to plug that league as we go forward. But Lee Bowden's in. Always great to see him. He's raced with us before. He's a great racer, isn't he, Alan?
Very good driver indeed, and he will like this track.
Yeah, I think this could suit his driving style. When we did the media day for SRL, he was rocking and rolling around about where I was until I binned it. And then another addition this week to give us 18 drivers on the grid this time is Fiona Siddons, they've driven with us before. As they get a bit nerfed off. I don't know who that was.
Welcome to the league.
Yeah. So she's in here, and in the Matthews Logistics with Vapors team. I think that I got that all right. Let me go and find the team because it's only right that we should at least call the team correctly. That's not the right place that I want to be. Entry list is where I want to be. Where are we? Matthews Logistics with Vapors, Mansfield. There we go. A plug for that team's sponsor. Maybe Fiona will bring some fellow racers with her. Who knows? You've raced with Fiona loads, haven't you?
Oh, fair bit. Very nice lady, and we've shared the Discord quite a lot. And she's actually visited my house, been to Toon Towers, and visited me and said hello, which is always a privilege for me when I get guests coming through the door. And it's great. She's had some family illness with her mum, so I'm very pleased that she's actually managed to get back on track, and it'd be great for her to be joining us this evening.
Yeah, brilliant. A bit of distraction for her if she's got troubles, otherwise. Racing around Laguna Seca in TCRs, why not? Right, what else have we got going on? So, let's just go through the standings at the minute. Wobbly is currently your provisional pole man for this evening. Just done his fastest time there. 1:30.459. 3/10 faster than Spencer. Right. So far, yeah. Right, standings. I'm going to use Gary's standings. Right, so Sam Blees is currently top of the pile. With 994 points, including drops, I think. Yep. Spencer McCarthy is now in second place on 938, so that's pretty tight already.
Wow, that's close, isn't it?
But the most interesting bit is Wobbly, who is on your screen at the minute, is also on 938 points. I don't know what we do for countback. I can't remember what the rules are. But I'm sure it won't stay absolutely on the numbers right to the end of the season. But if it does, all the better for us because it'll make for great racing, won't it?
Well, that's amazing considering how many rounds we've had, Pete. I mean, how close is that?
You can't get any closer. There's Spencer. He's done his fastest lap last time round. The laps just get faster and faster. And as the temperature drops, as we may do, as it will do, because I think the sim time now is 3 o'clock, and these guys have got about 6 minutes left to run. 3 o'clock in the sim, so it'll only get cooler. Whether it'll get cool enough to have like proper grip, I have no idea. Sam Blees in his Audi, with Lee Bowden on track behind him, and then Stephen Walker back with us. He's quite far down the standings now because he can't race every race round, so he's in 10th at the moment. But 4th, and also in the 900 point gang at the minute, is Gary Craig. He's on 924, so he's only 14 points behind Spencer and Wobbly, and he's only 70 points behind the leader. So there's 4 cars there with everything to race for. And then rounding out the rest of that top 10 in the standings, Jamie Jeffrey is in 5th, which is great to see. He's here on track. I saw him before. There he is, in his Elantra. Jamie Wilson is in 6th. I'm not seeing Jamie join. Oh no, I have. Have I? Yeah, I have. Yeah, there's Jamie in the Civic for Chimera. Matt Elmore, flashy Elmore, is currently in 7th, but yeah, he's also here in the Veloster. Carl Hardy is in 8th. He had a really good start to the season, didn't he, Alan? Carl, but he's dropped down the order through a few incidents along the way.
Yeah, and also some really very competitive racing and some great driving by the guys in front. But where he's been in the field, it's been tight and fierce, hasn't it?
It really has, yeah. First season, Ant Woodward, who's in the pits at the minute, is in 9th, and then Stephen Walker, as we mentioned, in 10th. Stephen Walker's just put it into 2nd place, Alan.
Oh, he's got his lucky pants on.
He's the seriously lucky pants. I just want one thread off it because he's that lucky. I'm pretty sure he could double my luck just with that much. In terms of team standings, Geodesic Racing head the way on 1,359 points, with BSTV Esport on 1,335 points. Spectre 6 are in 3rd with 1,025, and then we've got Geodesic Racing White, which is just Sam Blees. Or is it? No, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's just Sam Blees.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and then Safeguard by result round out the top 5. So, yeah, Safeguard is Roger Morton. Why, I don't know why I've still not got a paint for him. I'm pretty sure I clicked on him before and he had a paint. But never mind. And Carl Hardy, obviously.
Target. What is that with just paint? It's a baffler, isn't it?
It befuddles me every time. So that's the runners and riders. Right. Sorry, I'm just reading a message from Clyde that came through just before we... all right, I'll talk about that another time. Right, so let's see. We've still got Wobbly on top. He's only 900ths faster now than Sam Blees, who's just posted yet another fast time. I think Laguna Seca is going to be a bit of a challenge, don't you? It's got some very gnarly features. Sam Blees looks like he's coasting round, so I am going to gamble and think he's going to do a fast lap. Or is he just going to park it up somewhere nice? Let's see. He's letting somebody go. So I think he's going to do a hot lap in a second. I've been wrong before.
It'll suit the Audi, this track. I'm interested to see how well it goes.
Yeah, so into the last turn here, the sharpest turn, I think, on the track. Slowest turn, for sure. Up the gears and across the stripe. You go left, up and over the crest of this hill. That's pit lane exit on the left there, on the other side of the orange. And you want to brake at the concrete around about here. There we go, that was pretty good. And then down into 2nd gear, I think it is. No, he's staying in 3rd. Oh, it's the Audi, of course. So Audi is geared differently to pretty much all the other cars. Over to the left here, after that was the Andretti hairpin. This is turn 3, I think it is, because the first one was 2 turns. Round through this right-hand kink, which is 4th gear. Keep it steady on the gas. Don't run out wide onto the grass. You get a 1X. It'll invalidate the lap. It'll slow you down. And then we fire it under this little bridge, braking at the 2.5. Tip it in, get as much of the car turned using the track, and he's gone off track, so that's a spoiled lap anyway. Through this little kink here, which catches so many people out and caught Sam out there a little. and then you end up the hill here, into this little tiny chicane at the top, and then into the corkscrew, which is this downhill left right sweeping. It feels mint when you absolutely nail it. Round this sweeping left-hander here, into the sweeping right-hander, which is where we joined him the first time, Alan.
Yes.
Any favourite features of the track for you?
Before I ever came here, this was a dream place to visit. Before I ever became an iRacer, I'd watched hours of MotoGP hurtling down that corkscrew, and I wanted to drive it so badly I could taste it. And it was an absolute thrill the first time I pulled up here and got on this circuit and actually drove down the corkscrew and managed to drive a lap. I love this place. I know it's a bit. Some people don't like it. I think it's great. It's wide. There's plenty of places where you can attack.
Yes.
But they're all tight places. You've got to be on your game to actually pull it off. I think we're going to see some good racing here tonight.
I do as well. And your pole man, it was Stephen Walker in the end. He managed to oust Wobbly off the top spot. That's brilliant, in my opinion. Anyway, first back to 6. Wobbly Traitor Niekamp goes off second for Impulse Racing. Sam Blees goes off third for Geodesic Racing. White. Spencer off 4th for Geodesic Racing. Gary Craig off 5th for BSTV. David Johansson off 6th. He's been very fast this season for Sim Racing Grid Hyundai. Matt Elmore goes off 7th for Spectre 6. Carl Hardy off 8th for Safeguard. Jamie Jeffrey off 9th for CCB. Jamie Wilson off 10th for Team Chimera. Tony Walker off 11th for Spectre 6. Lee Bowden off 12th. He's driving as a privateer this end of the season. JB off 13th for BSTV. David Ayres off 14th for Result Clothing. Anne Woodward off 15th for NQR. Matt Flannery off 16th for Geodesic. Roger Morton off 17th for Safeguard. And Fiona Siddons off 18th for Matthews Logistics. We've not got Andy Littler tonight. Must be otherwise engaged.
Maybe work commitment with Andy. He's been very busy at the moment.
Okay.
Maybe he's in an hotel with dodgy internet or something. It happens to him.
So, quite a big field we've got going on here. You can quit that at the back as well. Stop flashing your lights.
Synchronized flashing just for you, Pete.
So annoying. Anyway.
Oh, that's a funny sight.
And we are go. Right, so here we go.
Am I allowed to be this excited at the start of this race?
Absolutely, I am. Oh, there's a bit of shenanigans already with
cars
off.
I
think that's Spencer that's ended up in the wall over there, spun round.
Crikey.
We'll do an autopsy on this in a minute. Yeah, Spencer rejoining. I don't know whether he'll get a dangerous pit lane exit or something for that. He was so far off. That was elbows out, wasn't it?
That's it. Crikey. Well, that's laid down a few markers.
Yeah. Gary Craig monopolising on this. Trying to get across on David Johansson, but David Johansson staying with it and just ahead. Sam Blees has elbowed Wobbly out. I don't know whether Wobbly's got damage after all of that. He's weaving to see if he has. You see that?
Yeah.
So he's assessing his car. Got some close racing further back. That was a very rough corner there from Tony Walker. And that Chimera car of Jamie Wilson's on him. Everybody's still running.
These 20-minute races really come out very frisky, don't they?
They really do. We will go back to the start and just see where it all went a bit tasty. Matt Elmore, has he got to slow down? He's going very slow. He must have. Either that or damage off the corkscrew somehow.
So he's got to slow down by the looks of that, isn't it?
Yeah. Now he's away running again now.
Yeah.
Lost a few positions there. 3 positions he lost in all that. And just behind there, Roger Morton and Ant Woodward going at it. And behind these guys, Lee Bowden lost a few places along the route up to this point. As we see Roger Morton and Ant still going at it, even into the Andretti hairpin. I know, it's brilliant, this. A bit wide from Rog. Bit wide.
He's got his hands full just behind these two going at it. Goodness me.
Right.
What a welcome to the league. Go
Yeah.
on, Lee. Goodness.
And again, Tony Walker under some pressure at the minute from that Chimera Honda of Jamie Wilson.
Don't forget the heat in the track as well, Pete.
Yes.
Goodness, I bet it's like ice out there.
I think it'll be pretty ropey, to be honest. Just behind this group is Matt, Flashy, Elmore. He's lurking now. I'm going to move to the front because we've just had a change of position nearly. That was nearly an overtake for the lead, I think. And who's that? That's Wobbly dropping down the order rapidly. He's been in the wall. So
unexpected. I didn't expect to see Wobbly in that wall. I really didn't.
No, nor did I. Something's happened very, very recently, so we'll see this from above. It looks like a pretty big gap to me. So Stephen Walker loses it on the climb. Wobbly on a bit of a recovery, really, you could call it. Gets alongside, locks it up, does he? Oh, straight across.
Oh.
Couldn't get it stopped. That must be tyres and heat.
That's the heat, isn't
Yeah.
it? We're just there. Yeah, that's very, very graphic illustration of what the conditions are like.
Yeah, I know Wobbly was confident about his pace in this sprint race, but he's come unstuck. Should we go and have a look at the start of the race? I think we need to. I don't know where it all
what happened
started.
because Spencer got it right, elbowed, or we just don't know what happened, do we?
Not yet. We're about to find out. So let's see this. So Sam Blees, goes across the front of Wobbly. Wobbly tries to avoid a fishtailing Audi and gets Spencer. So that's what happened there. Lots of crowding in that. You know when it starts to kink left.
That was just pure physics, wasn't it? He was the end of a load of action and reaction.
He was,
and
yeah.
He was just at the end of that. Oh, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. And not really any blame. You know, that was just...
Well, I think Sam Blees cutting across the front of Wobbly's car was the catalyst for everything that happened. We're watching David Ayres coming under some pressure now from Lee Bowden. We've got, this is looking very tasty. This is Spencer making his way back through the field again. Passing Ant Woodward there. And David Johansson having a pop at Stephen Walker. Oh, that's going to end badly. We'll have a look at that again in a second. This is pretty rough today, Alan.
Okay. We're not used to this, are we, Pete?
Not really. There's been a couple of races this season that have been a bit rough and tumble.
Rough and ready. Yes. Yeah.
And usually the sprint races. So let's have a look at this.
I think Sam just maybe got out of hand with that first one.
Yeah, so David really wide. Oh, it was Stephen overtaking David. That's what was happening. Right, so...
there was no room, was there?
I don't think so. Right, we'll have another look at it because it's quite pivotal for the standings in the league. I'm going to wait to go to Chopper until I'm up above them. So, so they turn round here. Stephen... yeah, there's not much room to Stephen's right there. I think David stayed in it. It was going to be one of them giving it up, and neither of them did, and Stephen came off the worse for it. So, high drama. Alan?
Yes, we won. We haven't drawn breath.
Yeah. Good grief.
As it's technical now, let's see. So Sam's in front now.
He is, yeah. Sam is... what is he? He's away by 1.1 seconds over Gary Craig, who's been promoted to second place from other people's misfortunes and got himself a tidy gap of 2.9 seconds, all the way back to Carl Hardy, who's found himself in a podium position.
Oh, so things are shaking out, but I don't know. Let's hope Carl can pull this back together.
Well, he's in company here. He's got, what's that? 5 cars behind him that are eyeing him up for third place. the back of the train is Matt Elmore. If I can get a better camera on these guys, I will have. So he's the back of the train. Everybody in front there has got a taste of a podium position. And with what's gone on so far, you could say it's open for any of them right now.
It's in the air, isn't it? There's no calling any of this. We just don't know what's going to happen.
No, and
How exciting.
yeah, incidentally, Matt Elmore's also holding position 8. Yeah, which is reverse grid position. So let's see what happens with that. Good evening to Jason Haddington, Kylie, cheering for the result, guys, tonight. And JB, right, cool. Just keep one eye on them. JB's about to get Spencer McCarthy as Wobbly puts in the fastest lap of the race. I think we're going to have a fastest lap off, Alan, to try and get that point.
Yeah. Well, we know that they battled for that purple, don't they? And
yeah.
But I'm glad to see that Wobbly's car's okay.
Yeah.
And he's still can run competitively. Because
well, he's been in the pits, so he's done his fast repair. He's come back out, and I think he's after that fastest lap because he's quite a way off now. It's 9 seconds to his nearest competitor, which is Fiona. Right. So what else is going on? Tyler. Tyler says that Wook just cleared himself of David's nose. I'm not sure he did, you know. I think he was still side by side. Enough, anyway, I think. And everyone's gone crazy. Yeah, I agree with that. It's all calmed down a bit now, so we'll move forward and see what Jamie Jeffries got on his plate. He's got David Johansson on his plate, Alan.
Oh, David's a handful. He's been driving really, really well. He's got incredible pace and a lot of skill. Now, Jamie and Carl were locked together last week. Remember, they had that epic battle with Carl defending and Jamie trying every which way to get round him. So they're obviously fairly consistently on pace, close.
Yeah.
But David's the bogey man here because I think he's got the pace of both of these.
Yes, I would suggest he has. Sorry, I need to correct myself. Tyler was explaining that he wasn't clear, but tried to move over. So yeah, he's agreeing with our analysis, just terminology. So apologies, Tyler. Right, let's see what else is going on. So further back, you can see that Spencer now has joined the back of this queue. He's absolutely scything his way through the field.
It's a classic Spencer return visit, isn't it? He's just amazing at this. The way he comes through the field is amazing, and we've seen him do it time after time.
But he just makes gaps between cars vanish. It's just incredible. So
he's got
talented.
magic for that, and you know, with Sam and his magic in the pit stops, they've got something going for them. These DSC guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of them, Sam Blees is still your race leader. Gary Craig is still in second, and he's stretching that gap. He's got 4.3 seconds now over Carl, who is. There's something going on behind there. Did you see that?
Yeah, they're getting very cosy.
They really are. Jamie didn't want to give that up, and nor should he. This is a race for position. Bit of a drag race over the stripe now.
The entry onto this straight is so important, isn't it? That last slow corner, if you don't get it right, then you're in for a world of pain coming down the hill.
Yeah, and these guys side by side round Andretti hairpin there. And Spencer falls back in line, didn't have the drive he needed.
This time.
Yeah, this time, yeah. Further ahead, Jamie Jeffrey still under pressure from David Johansson. Spencer has another look, but he's stayed in position for now.
Oh, got a wheel on the sand there now. He was just getting a little bit of a gap there and room for a breather, but...
Yeah.
You can't give anything away on this track at the moment.
No, definitely not. And this little group here has only got a small gap to the group behind. So they've got 1.2 seconds to Tony Walker, who is just there coming out of the corkscrew now.
Only's doing well to stave off Matt, because Matt
He
has
is, yeah.
great pace, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be interesting to see what Spencer does. So he's in 9th. One more position gets him 8th. We know what 8th is. Let's see what happens. Wobbly's back here. He's just put Fiona behind him. So there's Fiona. Nice livery, that, actually. That dark red and dark green with the white.
Yeah.
Very, very classic.
It's been redone. It used to be Roger's old team.
Oh, right, okay.
It did, and then Fee's reanimated it because Roger's back with Resort, and she's reanimated the livery, but subdued the colours rather. I agree with you. I think it looks quite classy now.
Yeah.
And yeah, great to see her back on the track. I miss Pete. She was a big help to me with my league on a Monday night.
Cool.
She was, and I'm glad she's got time to get in the rig now and get a bit of a break.
Yeah. No, that is good. So Spencer finally gets it done on Jamie Wilson. Obviously the fights get more difficult the further up the field he goes, because they get a lot faster. David Johansen pops out and has a real good look. We're going to see Carr appearing somewhere on our right in a second, I think. No, yes, no, maybe.
Well, he gave room, didn't he? So
He did, he's still there, that's why. He's hanging around, but David Johansen's got that done now. And Tony Walker is the next
good driving.
line. Yeah,
good
very
driving
good drive.
of them.
Now this is a big group now. This is a 6-car battle. And Carl Hardy's got himself a gap with all that.
Well, now the thing is David going to get away and start after Carl, or is he going to get bogged down with his chasers behind him? Because it looks like he's making a gap already.
It does, yeah. Ooh, Tony Walker getting right in on Jamie Jeffrey. And that stacked Tony back into Matt Elmore's clutches. Obviously they're sister teammates. Spencer's in the middle of this with Jamie Wilson now just behind him, but JB's catching the group. That's good, isn't it?
Wow, fantastic. And the hair will be standing on the end. I mean, if you're a TCR racer, where would you rather be? I mean, you just want to be right in there, don't you? This is TCR racing with it. It's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
You don't get any closer and grittier than these guys.
Definitely not. So let's see. We've got this group is David Johansen starting to etch away at the gap in front of him. Spencer McCarthy trying to go around the outside of Matt Elmore. Nearly made it work, but ran out of a bit of tarmac. And then we'll try and size him up, I think, on the start-finish straight. He gets very good drive off that last corner, which is, to your point before, if you can nail that corner, you've got a big advantage over the cars in front of you.
Well, yeah, it's one of the places where you can make a bit of territory and put a move on somebody, either at the corner or on the outflow from the corner, if you can carry the pace through. It's dangerous as well, because if you get it slightly wrong, you're over on the right and in trouble.
So Carl
David's
Hardy
getting away. I want Jamie Jeffrey to be biting David Johnson.
Yeah. You're not biased towards Carl at all getting a podium. Yeah.
But this is great racing, and eyeballs out, and well done to everybody.
Absolutely.
I bet with the state of the track, I mean, the braking is going to be definitely a bit. I hope the imagination's good, because
Yeah, we'll have a look at the track state going into the next round, because obviously it should have cooled down somewhat by the time we get to the feature race. We've got a feature race of 40 minutes with a pit stop. Pit lane entry here is, we'll talk about it later, but the final phase of getting actually into the pit lane is very, very challenging.
it's such an important thing as well in the feature race, because we've got some real experts
Yes.
thinking every fraction of a tenth out of the pit stops, and this is a place where you need all your skill if you're going to actually make a good pit stop, and if you don't, you're dropping a lot of time. Oh, look here.
Yeah, that was Jamie Wilson taking the super fast line through Andretti hairpin and getting right up the back end there of Matt Elmore. Probably too busy flashing his lights to be fast. They've got 1.9 seconds now over JB, who's in the head of the gap behind, and Ant Woodward is not far behind JB.
I was doing a heck of a job of keeping a hold of Sam.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
But they're home free, I think, with 7 seconds. Gary's got 7 seconds, and I think he's quite comfortable with that.
Yeah, I would say so. We'll go back and have a look at the leaders. They are about as far apart as they were before, to be honest. 2.2 seconds. We may well be getting flags at the minute.
Right, are we there already? Goodness me, we've had this every week with these races. They just fly, don't they?
And after the ribbon I took after getting the end of the race wrong last time, I'm going to make sure I don't get it wrong this time. So let's see.
You're man enough to take it, Pete.
Who knows if there's someone waving a flag there? I wouldn't be able to tell him if there was. Let's have a look from Roger's car. Can we see a flagman? Not yet.
No, got another one.
Must have. Right, so we'll go to David Johansson, who's now caught your captain.
Yes, well, this is what I was afraid of.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And he's not shy. We've seen it before.
He's a very classy driver.
Yeah, he knows what the pedal on the right is for. Just to quote a wobbly statement there.
This is a hard track to defend on, I think.
Oh, here we go. He's got a run now. Oh, and Carl's closed that door on him. Let's see what happens.
Well, let's see what happens in the corkscrew.
That was almost a last lap move, if you get my point. It was a real, you are not coming through. I'm too close to the end of the race defending. For this. He is defending. On the brakes. I don't... Ooh. Who's that? Oh, right, Jamie Jeffrey. Absolutely sent that one. That was really good racing. He caught David Johansson out. So we are now going on to the last lap. They got over the line, believe it or not, with 2 seconds. There's Barney the flagman. This is going to be a dramatic end to this race. Carl's defensive into Andretti. That's not going to work because Jamie Jeffrey's fast around there. In fact, all these guys, any one of these guys could get this podium position, Alan.
Well, I think Jamie did Carl a big favour there, to be honest.
He's definitely...
I think they would have got 5 on this lap, and Jamie's now interposed himself, and that's been a big help to Carl. I hope he's buying him a bunch of flowers.
I mean, Jamie knew exactly what he was... In fact, there's battles everywhere at the minute. So JB's been caught by Ant Woodward. That's behind. We're going to have to go back to this group to see what happens in the dying embers of this race.
All right on the end of that. Yes,
it is. Yeah, he's hunting all 3 of these cars in front of him down as they go side by side here. Oh, good grief!
Get round.
Oh, how on earth! Great racing, David Johansson.
Fantastic.
And Jamie Jeffrey. And Spencer's thinking...
the podium, don't they?
Yeah, Spencer's thinking, how have I not managed to get on the podium?
Well, what a drive he's done.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back to it. Sam's already finished, so he's got that win. Gary's already come second. Carl Hardy's going to hold this.
Crikey.
What a race. What a race. Oh, and that's close as well. And Woodward and David Ayres at the end.
Oh.
I can only believe that something happened to Ant Woodward because he was right up close to JB. Wobbly goes over the line with Roger. Gets off the racing line quickly. Must need a wee. Matt Flannery, and here
It's going
comes...
to take his nerve tonic, I should think.
Yeah.
Goodness.
So, Fiona making her
One
way
kind
around
of
the
a
last few.
race.
Sorry?
Fiona gets home, up some kind of a race, Pete. It's warmed me out
Absolutely.
watching that.
Yep.
Wow.
Couple of cars to finish.
Come on, Pete, bring her home.
Bit of damage on the right front of that Elantra.
Yeah.
I think she'll
Still
be
chucking
happy
on.
to get that back and repaired, ready for the feature race. And then Stephen Walker, last man home after that incident with David Johansson.
I think he must have had. He's been slow, hasn't he? For this last bit, it was way
Yeah.
back, and
Well,
unfortunate because
phew.
wow, talk about cut and thrust, Pete.
Cut and thrust. Surprised there's anybody still alive. Okay, so have we gone and done the whole grid thing or not? There we go. Right, so round 19. Your race winner was Sam Blease. That will help his championship defence immensely for Geodesic Racing White. Gary Craig comes home second, rather, for BSTV. Great second step on that podium. And then rounding out the podium, Cal Hardy. We saw it. What a great battle that was. Safeguard by result with David Johansson not quite there in fourth, but managed to get Jamie Jeffrey before the line, who finished fifth for TCR. Spencer McCarthy was sixth on that recovery drive for Geodesic Racing. Tony Walker was seventh for Spectre 6th and number. Matt Elmore, Flashy, was eighth and will be your pole man for race 2. For Spectre 6, the letters. Jamie Wilson came home ninth for Team Chimera, with JB Dejoux rounding out the top 10, which is a great result for BSTV. And then we had Ant Woodward in 11th. 12th was David Ayres. 13th was Lee Bowden. 14th was a much delayed wobbly kneecaps. Roger Morton was 15th. Matt Flannery was 16th. Fiona Siddons was 17th. And Stephen Not So Lucky Wookie Walker came home 18th and last on that occasion. Right. Where do you go from there? There's a few cars on pit road because I suspect there will be lots and lots of pit practice.
I think the pit stop will be crucial in this.
Yes, without a doubt.
We've seen it again, and this is one of those. It's a long pit lane and an awkward entry to it, and an awkward exit as well. It's not even the best exit, so it's a long involved process here.
It is.
Out of the pits.
Too right.
Wow. Can't wait to see what happens.
I know. I think we're going already, are we? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we are. Right,
Yeah,
we're gridding.
Gridding.
Already. Good grief. Matt Elmore. Yeah. Matt Elmore will be your pole man. Tony Walker will go off second. Spencer McCarthy will go off third on the second row. Jamie Jeffrey next to him, third row. David Johansson in fifth. Carl Hardy will go off sixth. Seventh will be Gary Craig. Sam Blease, your race winner from the first of tonight's rounds, will go off eighth. Jamie Wilson will go off ninth. JB Dejoux off 10th. 11th will be Ant Woodward. 12th will be David Ayres. I need to press that. 13th will be Lee Bowden. 14th will be Wobbly. Roger will be 15th. 16th will be Matt Flannery. Fiona Siddons will go off 17th. And Stephen Walker will go off 18th. Everybody is on the grid already. I need to click that button there. Lights are on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they were held for a while, but they're away now, and that is Spencer McCarthy moving his way forward. Carl Hardy did not have a good start there, I don't think. He's moved backwards and he's in a sandwich. 3 wide.
3 wide.
2 rows 3 wide. Good grief. Will they sort themselves out without tears? Gary Craig appears to have come out of that. An absolute winner. Oh, it's getting a bit tasty just here, Alan.
They're being careful because it's the first lap of the feature race, and we can see that the elbows aren't out like they were in the feature in the sprint race, because they survived that, and that was as close as you can get.
It really was. I don't know where to look next, to be honest. Everybody's crawling all over everybody at the moment. Carl Hardy's under real pressure at the minute from race 1 winner Sam Blees. Why has David Ayres just disappeared off my screen completely? Has he had another disconnect?
Awful disconnects, hasn't he?
He has.
Oh no, he's out. Look. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so disappointing, Dave.
So technical issues for David Ayres, which has terminated his involvement up to this point. Maybe he can get back in and get some points. Who knows?
Fingers crossed and touch wood for David.
Yeah, Spencer McCarthy. Spencer McCarthy.
Oh.
Why are you there? Because you have been out on the sand as...
Hello, who's in the pits?
That's Matt Flannery.
Matt.
I don't know why. Maybe he's gone out on the wrong fuel. Don't know. So, Geodesic getting all the footage at the minute for all the wrong reasons. Right, let's see what happened to Spencer as he tries to send it on his own teammate there and makes it work.
Oh.
Good God. He wasn't taking any prisoners there.
There's some skill involved there.
Really was. It absolutely made Sam Blees jump, that's for sure. Right, so what happened here? So he gets out on the... Oh, he's got what they would call a tank slapper. And yeah, managed to not hit any walls. That's the main thing. But he lost a bag full of positions. And managed to stay just ahead of Jamie Wilson into that last corner. So we'll go back live because it's all still going on.
Poor Jamie, he was last week. He came in ninth in the sprint race and just lost his pole position for this.
Yeah.
And the same happened again this week. He was ninth again and just popped into ninth position on the grid. So he's been unfortunate in his gridding in the last couple of weeks.
He has, yeah, absolutely right. Carl Hardy behind Tony Walker at the moment has got Spencer behind him. Should have the Jaws music playing, I think.
Yeah, not what you want to be seeing.
Not really, and then Sam Blees behind him, so...
like a double dose.
Yeah, they're queuing up for a slice of Carl Hardy at the minute. And some would argue there's plenty of slices to go around, but never mind. That's for another day.
Well, we were at Michael's wedding and we had
right.
plenty of slices of lots of stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's very nice. There you go. iRacing spreads its wings over its people, and they were getting pissed together in the hotel.
Yeah. Stacey is on the chat, clearly cheering for Ant Woodward there. As Spencer has a real good go at Carl Hardy there. Didn't make it work on that occasion. So Matt Elmore is your race leader at the minute, and has maintained that position. Must be focusing on something other than the light. Oh, back here we're getting a bit racy as well. That's Ant Woodward with JB, and Stephen Walker making his way through. Up 5 positions, Stephen Walker already.
Yes. Well, I hope Stephen gets a chance to show us a bit of his true form and pace.
Oh, I'm sure. He's super fast and wildly out of position at the start of this one, starting last. For those of you new to watching, that golden banner in his windscreen means he's a past champion. Other cars with blue banners have not been a champion of this or the GT4 series that used to run alongside the TCRs and no longer do. Ooh. So JB has been muscled out of what is now 12th place. That is now Stephen Walker's position, and Ant Woodward is next on the hit list.
2 evenly matched cars. And Ant's no mugs, so,
he's not. He's brilliant in the V8s. He's transferred that experience forward into this series. As Sam Blees is... Oh, and Spencer McCarthy going slow again.
Oh, no.
So something else has happened with Spencer. He's now behind Wobbly.
It's not going to slow down, is he? Something.
I don't know, but he's alongside Wobbly and sending it into that kink. Sam Blees out wide and... Oh, good grief. Jamie Wilson threads the needle, and
Well, hold Sam.
yeah, Code Brown, I think there. Oh, Spencer's absolutely on it.
Oh, that was right on the edge, wasn't it? If you
Yeah.
get that even a fraction wrong, you're in that wall opposite.
I mean, I'm sure
There's
he's having
no
a blast,
stopping.
but he's scaring the hell out of everybody around him, I think. Oh, and that's a big bit of curb he's clobbered. Don't know whether that'll damage the car.
It didn't look too bad, but it was a great save.
It was.
Hello, who's that?
That's Matt
Making
Elmore
sound.
going down the field fast.
Oh,
And what a strange place to be off the track. It's like he's got onto the sand before, in the braking zone to the last corner. So we'll have a look at that.
perhaps he took a spin before it, because he must have been at almost 0 speed going into that.
We'll watch it from the front of his car just to see if there was any flashing going on. I reckon he's got a toe out onto the sand. Oh no! He got nerfed.
Oh, he got bunt.
A nerf from David Johansen, who he was the one that got his tyres off on the sand, and that's why Matt Elmore was in such a strange position. And he's had to let basically the whole field go because they all came piling through. So safe rejoin from Matt Elmore.
Yeah, unfortunate for Matt there. That was very unfortunate.
Yeah.
I hope his car's okay.
Yeah. So let's have a look at this now.
The thing is, they're so close, Pete. What do you expect?
Yeah.
You know, any slight incident, any loss of control, anything, and on a slippery track like this, I don't think there's any avoiding the cars. Even look at your track map; they're absolutely stacked.
They are. I'm wondering what's going on with David Johansen. Is he going to pit the car? Is he damaged? Because there's a huge train of cars approaching him. I don't know whether he's waiting to see if he can give the position back, but that's a whole bag full of positions. He's got to go all the way back to 15th. So I don't know. Did he have a slowdown? There was something going on there.
Yeah, he's picked his pace up again. So
Carl Hardy on Tony Walker. There's no cutback at the Andretti hairpin, it has to be said. You can slam the door shut good and quick. So your race leader is now Gary Craig for BSTV. He's got a 1.4 second lead over David Johansen. Eventually he was the unfortunate passenger that got to the scene of the crime pretty quickly, wasn't he? And took out Matt Elmore. So I don't think he was in any way in control of that car, obviously. So we'll see how that washes out later. Jamie Jeffrey is. These two have been inseparable in the first race and probably going to be that in the second. As Tony Walker he's been off track very recently and let 2 cars go.
So he's going so well as well, Tony. You know, he's running well up the pack, and
yeah, he's not going to like what he sees in his mirrors now, though, is he?
Crikey, no.
He's got a double helping of geodesic cars, and then wobbly.
He can be happy with his pace, but he's got the 3 fastest drivers in the league on his bumper.
Quite literally, at the point you said that, that was Sam pushing Spencer, pushing Tony round the last turn.
Wow, but it's fun in those cars. My word, it's almost tempting me to want to go in the TCR.
Yeah.
It's
It's
as close and
absolutely
exciting
brilliant.
a racing as you can get.
It really is. So, let's just go and have a look and see what happened to Tony. I think this is going to be at the kink and coming up the big hill. I think he's going to end up with some sand under his tyres. Let's go chopper on him. Oh, no, Carl Hardy. Carl Hardy freaked him out.
Oh.
Yeah, Carl Hardy showed himself in the mirrors, backed out of the turn. Tony tried to give room to a car that never actually appeared and was offline enough to be off track. So that's what happened there. No mega drama, but worth analysing.
Tony was trying to be a gentleman there, wasn't he? He was
giving racing room, yeah,
giving
absolutely.
a bit of racing room. It was unfortunate that there was a consequence for him because he didn't deserve it.
As Sam Blees overtakes Spencer. And Spencer repays the gift.
They'll be loving this.
Side by side.
But there's Wobbly just licking his lips thinking,
Yeah, stalking him. Probably trying to reduce his fuel fill. Oh dear.
Oh, no, no, no.
Big shunts all the way around there. We'll have another look at that. It was just off the camera.
Oh, looks like Sam's got damage there.
Oh yeah, it was a big hit in the end. So these two, I think it was possibly Tony stacking them up. Oh no, it wasn't. Sam Blee's got it all wrong.
Sam got his braking completely wrong there.
Yeah, I think he was very eager to stay ahead of Spencer there, and Sam's off the track to the right, letting cars go.
At least it's still running, so...
Yeah, let's hope Tony's car is good as well.
Yeah, we don't want to lose any of these drivers. They're all doing absolute fantastic job for us this evening.
Yeah.
Are you entertained? Well, crikey, if you're not entertained by this, you must be a corpse.
Yes. And someone who knows a lot about those is JB, and he's scrapping with Ant Woodward at the minute. And I think has he just moved ahead? I think he has.
Oh, that's really good driving, isn't it?
Yeah, Lee Bowden just in the background there, lurking, ready to mop
What
up.
Lee thinks about all this, he's coming in a right race, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. I'm sure
He
he's
was
having
watching
fun.
last week, yeah, well, he saw last week, but last week was fairly exciting as well, I have to say.
Yeah.
So
Well, he turned up
kinda
for a
knew what
race.
he knew what he was doing.
Yeah. It's not like he wasn't
on him.
warned. Oh, right, we've got a number of cars going to pit road. So Spencer's in, Wobbly's in, and Woodward has decided that now is the right time. Sam Blees is in as well. So pit road, a busy old area right now as Tony Walker goes screaming past him with Matt Elmore hot on his tail. And then Roger stalking.
We had early pit stops last week, and
We did.
that
Oh,
actually
that's
worked out
close.
quite well. Oh,
Bit too
yeah.
close. Come on, boys, sort it out. There we go. Now, Sam Blees, yeah. So, Wobbly has jumped Spencer in that. Does that mean, yeah, he's potentially going to gain a few positions here. And I think this is going to be high drama with these two. What do you reckon?
Well, there's no reason, is there? Look at the space they've got now. This is mano a mano.
It is. I think what's going to happen here is Spencer's going to end up getting the fastest lap because he's got Wobbly's toe. Wobbly won't like that because he wants fastest lap. And these two will absolutely hoon it round this track for as many laps as it takes for them to get a car in front of them and slow them down. So let's see what happens. We're going to have to stay with these guys. Everybody else is split up a little on the track, so this is the closest battle right now. JB...
Well,
sorry, go on.
Gary's got his hands full with David, hasn't he?
It's closed, that gap has closed down, yeah. So the lead of the race, Tony Walker now in the pits. Let's have a look at the gap for the lead. I think Gary Craig will stay out now, and possibly so will David Johansson. I think this could come to a head soon. I think if either of them get in each other's way, they'll both, or one of them, will go to pit road. Let's go back to Spencer, who's dropped off a little. So let's have a look at JB coming under a bit of pressure now from Lee Bowden. Good showing in his first race back with us.
They're all good drives on this circuit. There aren't any poor drivers in this league. They're either good or really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely right. Right, Ant Woodward has been overtaken by Sam Blees. On track. Let's see what happened there, because I did miss it. Whoops, pressed the wrong button. Keeping an eye on Lee Bowden now as well, because he's got on terms. Oh, so Ant must have had a slowdown from somewhere, probably the corkscrew. It's hard to shed it if you catch the first of the penalty times. Slowdown is the word I was looking for. Jamie Wilson's pit road now.
Jamie was doing well, so we'll just see how he comes out. He's gone in 6th position, so we'll have to see how that works out. It pans through.
Yeah, we'll have a look at fuel, you know, stop times in a minute and see who might be at risk, because there's usually somebody.
Wobbly, Spencer and Sam are still together.
Yes, they are. We're going to move to that in a minute. And seeing if these guys sort themselves out or not. This is JB leading Lee Bowden with Matt Elmore on a mega recovery drive now, because he ended up back in 15th after that incident with David Johansson.
Pulled it back to 8th. That's a really good drive, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he's still to pit, so work to do.
Right. Well, at least his pace is good still. He's not. His car's running well.
Yeah.
These three's Titanic struggle. The Titanic struggles all over the track, I suspect. Actually, the one at the front.
Yeah. Well, this is.
Amy's doing well, isn't he?
Yeah.
James Jeffrey. He's starting at 2.76 seconds.
So is that Spencer overtaking Wobbly? Yep. Lovely overtake. And Jamie Wilson has come out after his pit stop ahead of these two, so that's worked out well for him. I know these two have had issues along the way. Matt Elmore to pit road now as well. And Lee Bowden looks like he's lining up JB on this lap. Is he going to go wide and cut back? You need to be later on the brakes in order to get closer to JB, maybe. He slid through that corner. I wonder what the track temperature actually is. Should we have a look? Race information. 36 degrees, so it's not cold, is it? Not by any means.
36 degrees is plenty hot enough, isn't it?
I would say so. Right, so what's going on at the very front? Gary Craig, still your race leader. Putting in good laps. His best so far this race is a 1:30.99. He's coming under increasing pressure from David Johansson.
David's got a couple of tenths on him, hasn't he? And
he has.
Because they're so consistent, that will make a difference in the end. Hard track to defend if somebody's really determined.
Very much so.
So, and Jamie's just starting to lose a bit of space with them. He's lost half a second, but Carl is going to be coming together. Him and Jamie are going to be together again very shortly.
I would think so. There's quite a few cars in the pits at the minute, which is Stephen, Walker, JB and Roger.
Are they the last to go in, Pete?
They are not. We still need the first 5 cars to go in, which is Gary, David Johansson, Jamie Jeffrey, Carl Hardy and Lee Bowden. They've gone round again already, so as Spencer puts a move on down the inside of Jamie Wilson, who's keeping this an issue for him. Now, I've got a theory, Alan.
Go for it.
And the theory is on Wobbly. So, he's fallen back and let Spencer go before we saw. I think it's because of fuel. So, Wobbly has the quickest stationary time of all the cars. By about a second.
Oh,
so
really? A second?
A whole second.
Oh, that's a lot.
His pit lane time is significantly faster than everybody else's, which would suggest possibly that he has underfueled the car. Did you see Spencer then? Good God.
Yes, now.
Tokyo, it is not. This is Laguna Seca.
We know they cut the fueling very fine on these pit stops.
They do.
They do.
Sometimes a little too fine.
Well, we know what happened last week, don't we?
We do.
If you didn't see it, folks, watch the replay, especially the last 5 minutes. Oh,
Tony Walker.
Tony.
That's how Matt Elmore got through. Yeah, saved it. Did well. I've been in that wall on that left-hand side more times than I care to remember.
Gathers you in, it certainly does.
Right, I don't know where to look next, to be honest. At the minute, these two are on it, and this is for the race lead. Wobbly has... what's Wobbly done? I think Wobbly just... No, he didn't. Right, so David Johansen racing Gary Craig here for lead of the race.
Lead.
And he's got it for now. Now, whether Gary has a different plan, we shall have to wait and see.
And these haven't been in the pits, have they?
Not yet.
So that's another element.
And they're going again. I think these cars have to now. I think they are fully committed to the strategy they're on, which is run it dry. I think Gary maybe wants to sit behind him and fuel save. Just a hunch.
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised. Gary's another one who's very cute with his fueling.
He is. You got to get up really early in the morning to get one over on him. Oh, Roger Morton off track. That might be just coming out of pit lane though. Although he's been off track for a while. Where is he at the minute? Ooh. Kind of pressed the wrong button, but this will do it for us. Right, what's happened? Roger. No, through the kink. That seems okay. Oh dear. Tony Walker-esque this. He likes that gravel, doesn't he? He's out there for a while.
Oh, crikey.
Does he get it stopped here? Nope, because there's dust all over his tyres and he's hit the wall. Right. So
ouch.
In fact, he's reset to the pits now, just 1 second ago, so we won't watch too much more of that. I think his car is absolutely mashed. So he'll have a fast repair in there. Gary Craig staying with David Johansen, as I suspected he might. So David Johansen is your race leader.
He will eke a lead out here. He's got a couple of... He's consistently just slightly quicker than Gary, isn't he?
He is. As Wobbly and Jamie go through the kink. I don't think they even touched. That's really good racing from the pair of them. Although, somebody's got to turn right before they can turn left in a second.
Jamie's not giving this up.
No, they're not, are they? I think Jamie may end up with a slowdown there. He was quite a way off the racing line. Yeah, he's had to back right out. Yeah. Okay. Jamie.
That was...
Yeah. So, Jamie Jeffrey's gone to the pits now. That only leaves Gary and David Johansen. Carl Hardy and Lee Bowden still to pit. So four to pit. Everybody else has been in. First of the pit stoppers, Stephen Walker.
So Stephen had the purple lap, then Spencer just had it, and now Sam's got it. It's absolutely flying up and down.
I told you that's what had happened. These guys like that little point that sits there, begging to be won.
So there's a bit of pride involved in the fastest lap in these races when you've got 3 or 4 racers that are so close in time and they're all capable of just grabbing that extra tenth at the last gasp, aren't they? And we see it coming again.
Absolutely. We're beyond halfway now. 24 minutes into this race. JB putting quite a good amount of pressure here on Matt Elmore, but he's got Tony Walker behind him. Matt Elmore has just passed him, obviously. Saw that. And JB under a bit too much pressure maybe from Tony Walker as Tony gets alongside here. Fast bit of the track to do that. Thought better of it, backed off and set up for the corkscrew, which is really wise racing.
I think Tony fancies his chances, doesn't he, with that, with JB?
Definitely.
That's Jamie,
Yeah, Jamie Jeffrey this is, with Wobbly bearing down on him. Jamie Jeffrey was stationary for a very long time in his pit stop. I don't know whether he was...
Hasn't it? It's cost him places.
It has, yeah. Bit sad, really, because he was in there he was stationary for a very long time, actually.
Wobbly's just under 29.
Yeah, and overtaking Jamie on screen. Oh, he has, yeah. 129.998. So let's see who's taking up the mantle to strike back. Spencer McCarthy on open road at the minute, no tow. Is tow a factor? Do you need a tow to do a 129 as Gary Craig peels away to pit the car? Be interesting to see how long he's stationary for and where he pops back out again. Carl Hardy in behind him as well. That leaves Lee, wherever Lee is. Oh, he's entering the pits as well. It's a nice little Veloster pit party, Alan.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah.
Interesting because Gary's one of the best pit stoppers in the world, and my captain Carl is probably not one of the best pit stoppers in the world.
Yeah.
You know, fair to say. He has to, you know, there's a pie involved.
Oh, yeah. I think if we put a pie up as a prize, then Carl might drive a bit faster.
That's not fair to everybody else.
So, David Johansson is your provisional race leader right now. He's got to pit for us and fill that car full of some go-go juice.
He's out there building that gap because this is, he was building the gap before, and now this is a really good position for David.
Yeah, it is. Lee Bowden's dropped quite a way down the order after his pit stop. He's come out in 14th, one position behind where he started this particular race. Where's the rest of them gone?
Lee's a human being in the pits, not an alien.
Yeah, what that does mean, and I did wonder whether this had happened, and it has, Gary Craig has come out as the race leader. So this after the pits, he's about to. Oh, will he though? Maybe can David get?
I think David
stopped?
we'll see. I think David will maybe edge him here.
Yeah, we'll have to have a look at that. And Gary's lead over Stephen Walker is exactly what you see on the screen, 1.2 seconds. And there's only 3 seconds back to Spencer. And then we've got Wobbly. Where's Sam Blees in all this? He's quite far back after all the stuff that's gone on. As David Johansson leaves the pits. Where is he in relation to everybody else? That's Gary Craig.
Oh, Gary's away.
Yeah.
And Stephen
might be. This is a tight little turn on pit lane exit. This is going to be very close.
Oh.
Very close. Wow. Fine margins, Alan?
Yes, and he's got cold tyres.
Yeah.
So
Roger Morton on the chat, clearly unimpressed with Laguna, says stupid track.
No, I'm right, darling. You're there and taking part, mate.
Right, so this is going to be a very, very hot race to the end now. We've got some real gladiators in the top few positions.
How long have we got to go? Because I think you can't count Spencer out of this either.
No, he's lurking. He's only he's 4.5 seconds away from the lead. And Wobbly is in his tow. I do wonder if he's Wobbly underfueled the car again and had to do some laps, doing some serious saving in order to compensate for it.
Right, he's in the perfect place to do it, isn't he?
Yeah.
If you want to save a bit of fuel but also maintain your position, being behind Spencer is a very good place to be.
Yeah.
I'd like to be behind Spencer. If I could keep up with Spencer, that would make my world. Because that's no easy thing, staying in Spencer's draft. It isn't, but Wobbly's one of the people that can do it and take advantage.
Oh yeah, definitely. Carl Hardy, podium man from the first race, under pressure from the Sam Blees now in the second race. And this is for 7th place. And Jamie Wilson's on the back of this little queue as well. We're going to have to go back to the front of the race though, because Stephen Walker closing in on David Johansson. That's wide from David, and Stephen's going to have good traction up the hill here. Yeah, David has stayed clear of him.
Oh, it's fine driving by all of them.
Yeah, very professional from both drivers there. Stephen made his intention clear, and there wasn't a great deal that David could do about it with the lack of momentum off that corner. Spencer McCarthy appears to be wringing its neck at the minute. He's had a little off track on this lap. No dramas, obviously, because you can see where he is in relation to Wobbly. Wobbly not looking like he's planning on effecting an overtake. I think he thinks that if he does, he's going to slow the pair of them down. And they are both gaining on the two cars in front of them.
No, they're going to be in the mix very shortly, and I don't see any reason why Wobbly should do anything but what he's doing. Just stay there and see what happens.
Yep.
It's going to unfold in front of him no matter what. And he'll be there ready.
So there's your race leader, Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good little view that. You can get all the first 5 cars 31 minutes into a race all in the same shot. Shows how competitive this league is.
Been through the wars and down the field and caught back up. It's
just amazing, isn't it?
It tails off this tail, doesn't it, really?
Yep. Gary Craig making it look pretty effortless. As Carl Hardy now. Ooh, that's a bit of a push. Yeah, Sam's got out of it to make sure he didn't overtake him, because I think he felt a bit responsible there, and probably was. Jamie Wilson says, I'll have a bit of that, thanks. Excuse me, Civic coming through. That Audi's mighty through some of these corners, isn't it?
It's having a heck of a day, the Audi. It's obviously likes Laguna, doesn't it?
Yep.
I wondered if it did. I thought it might suit the Audi this week, and you know, maybe the Veloster not so much.
Yeah.
But I think the pace of all these cars these days is very finely weighted. I think that's why we're getting so many really good, exciting races, Pete. The way they've weighted the cars this season, they seem to be perfectly sorted to give us just the very best.
Yeah, I think so. And just to obviously prove me wrong. Oh, that was a big hit from Wobbly. That was a big hit. We saw it live on the screen, but we're going to have to watch that again.
What happened there?
Well, on the previous lap, these two were swapping positions just to try and prove me wrong about fuel saving and staying behind him to not delay each other. I think Wobbly got caught out just on the brakes.
It's the brakes.
Yeah.
Oh, very unusual.
Very, actually. Maybe he was distracted by something else, but made sure he didn't overtake, etc. So hopefully both cars are okay.
Yes. Well, I don't think he won't. Do you think he'll get back onto Spencer?
It depends on the damage. I think Spencer's likely to be more okay, less worser than Wobbly, because the engine is at the front of the car, isn't it? So is the radiator, etc. All the soft, squishy bits are at the front.
And they're the important bits for getting through the air as well.
Yes. So maybe there's a bit of aero damage there. As Sam Blease tries the outside of Andretti hairpin. He's going to put himself under threat here from Jamie. I thought he might, but he's got brilliant drive off Andretti. Not able to do much with it. Carl's doing a good job of...
absolute thorn in his side at the moment.
He is.
You can't help but think Sam's going to do it eventually, but goodness me, he's having to work for it, isn't he?
Yeah, we should... Oh, we are side by side again. I can't see another car yet.
We're going to get around here. Just give him room.
Whey!
Oh.
This is fun.
Oh, very exciting.
3 in a bed, and the little one said...
Oh, come on now. What's going to happen to the corkscrew? Are they going to unscrew themselves?
I don't know.
I think Sam's got it.
Are they all going to be screwed? Yeah, Sam's got that one now, and Jamie Wilson says, whilst you're offline, Carl, I'll have this, shall I?
He's going to have that. Jamie's not going to be backwards at coming forwards there, that's for sure.
Carl's going to stay in this, you'd expect. Oh, that's close. Oh, jeez, boys. Calm down.
Oh,
Right.
that's
No.
magnificent. Oh.
Right, we're going to have to watch this. If you're squeamish, you might want to look away, I think.
Oh, what's the matter with Ant?
I think he's
Oh.
had...
Oh, just the slightest touch on the sand, and look at that.
Yeah.
Just a bumper wrecker.
Very. I think there was
Oh.
more than the bumper. I think that front wheel is fully hanging off.
Oh.
Maybe more than one of them. Oh, all three cameras give me the same view. Okay, that's brilliant. Thanks, iRacing. Right, so that was that. Back to live.
Very nice picture, though, Pete. High quality,
wasn't it? Stylish.
picture. Yeah,
it's nice.
like that.
Right, so where are we up to here? Spencer still ahead of Wobbly. What sort of times are they doing now? Spencer's just done a 1:31. Wobbly's done a 1:30.4. So I think they're both okay. They're both still able to do fast laps. But they are 4 seconds now away from third place David Johansson.
Yes, and they would have been in the mix, but I suppose that's a bit of a relief for Gary and Stephen and David.
It is, yeah, definitely.
Crikey, we're getting close to the noon one here.
Yeah. Lee Bowden's found JB Dejoux.
Gary keeping it, he's going to keep it out of Stephen's hands here, do you think?
I don't know. Stephen's doing faster laps at the minute. Half a second a lap at the moment.
That's a big chunk of time.
It is. I don't know whether it was just an error on Gary's part on that last lap, or whether Stephen was super rapid in qualifying, wasn't he? So we'll have to see how this pans out.
And that's without him practicing.
Yeah. Gary's gone defensive. Close the door at the kink. Stephen gets a bit of a slide on. That'll bring David Johansson a little bit closer. Then we've got a lot of time to wait before we look back and find these two. A bit delayed now after their little scuffle.
They're all fighting in the same second. Just shows you how vital those just odd tenths are.
Yep, it does.
And Wobbly's still got the only 129. Which is really an outstanding lap.
It's stunning, isn't it? Lee Bowden still not able to do much with JB at the minute. We'll see what happens as we get... Well, we're into the final couple of laps, I would think. 2 or 3 laps maybe left. Certainly there'll be another one after this one, given where the leaders are at the moment. Where's Gary now in relation to Stephen? Still ahead. Ooh, Wobbly is getting racy.
Wow, he's not going to be fuel saving now, is he, with 2 laps to go?
No, I think there was a period where he definitely was.
Oh, I think you called that absolutely right. I think that was a really sharp observation. I think you're absolutely right, especially with what happened last week.
Yeah.
Wobbly's going to be well aware of his fuel situation. He won't want to do that again.
No. Let's see what's going on here now. I don't know which battle to look at. They are absolutely equally apart from one another. Stephen Walker having a real good long stare here at the back of Gary's car. I wonder if they'll get over the line before the yellow, before a white flag.
Stephen won't want to do anything that's going to cause Gary to have an incident. If they get by, he wants to get around clean.
He always wants to win, though. That's the thing. So,
he does, but he's not really in the championship now, is he? And Gary's
not. No.
Doing very well. So
he'll still want points for the team.
Indeed.
And
I do think
Barney.
He'll be fair about it. He'll be fair about trying to get past him. He won't force the issue.
That was the last lap, and Wobbly's out of fuel.
No.
Yep.
Did he get over the line this time?
He did. And I don't think he's just pulling up randomly for a slowdown this time.
Wow.
Lee still trying to do something with JB. Whoa, that was good driving. There we go. Great racing. There's a whole bunch of cars
Oh,
going over the lane
man.
while we were watching
Oh,
those
yeah.
other things.
What a treat that was, Pete.
Yeah, good grief.
Worn out.
Still got some races on track. Matt
Goodness.
Flannery still making his way around. He's on the climb.
Yeah. Fiona's
Fiona.
finishing as well, which is really great on first race back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good showing from Fiona.
Yeah.
Flashing the
Well done,
lights.
Pete.
Well done. Over the line. Just waiting for Matt Flannery now.
I think Matt's been a bit unlucky, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. Gary Craig. Great race. Great race.
Wow. Yes.
Kept out of trouble, which is what everybody else got into.
Well, next to impossible, I think, to do that this week, to be honest.
Yeah. A couple of rough races along the way. And that's everybody over the line. So, let's go and find us some race results. And here they are. So, round 20, folks, at Laguna Seca was won by Gary Craig. He takes all the largest of the points tonight for BSTV. Second on the podium, Stephen Walker for Spectre 6, the number. David Johansson in third for Sim Racing Grid Hyundai. Spencer McCarthy in fourth for Geodesic Racing, with Wobbly right on his tail at the end there in fifth for Impulse Racing. This will really stir up the standings, or with Sam being so far down in this one, it might nullify the effect of the first race. I'm not sure yet. We'll wait and see what Gary posts in terms of points in a minute. Jamie Jeffrey finished sixth. That's a great result for Jamie for CCR. Sam Blees in seventh for Geodesic Racing White. Jamie Wilson in eighth for Team Chimera. Ninth was Carl Hardy for Safeguard by Result. Matt Elmore finished 10th for Spectre 6, the letters, with Tony Walker finishing 11th behind him for Spectre 6, the number. JB Deju in 12th for BSTV, followed by Lee Bowden in 13th. 14th was Matt Flannery for Geodesic Racing. Fiona Siddons finished 15th for Matthews Logistics Racing. Ant Woodward finished 16th for Never Quit Racing. Roger Morton was 17th after, didn't find the track to his liking tonight, apparently, on the chat. And David Ayres with technical issues and getting binned by his own internet connection, we think, was 18th and last. So, where do we go from there? What happened in race one again? It's been that long, I cannot even remember. So that one finished Gary,
I'm
Stephen,
on it.
David.
Gary second. Cole was third.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah.
So, wow.
Sam, Gary, Carl. Interesting.
Well, Gary's been outstanding tonight.
He really has, hasn't he? Right, okay. Let's see if there's anybody for us to chat to. I shall go and find the start of the race and give everybody something to look at in the background whilst we talk to these fine racers.
I love these slow motion shots at the end here. They were really good. The cars look fantastic, and you get a real sense of the speed and the grace and the poise of the drivers.
Yeah. Sometimes it shows things that you miss in the rush of the broadcast, if you know what I mean. Little tiny details that skipped past you while you were so focused on the race itself. So, let's bring in our feature race winner, second place in the first of our races tonight, and Mr. Keep It Out of Trouble. What's that? Gary X. I'm not reading the rest of that name. Gary Craig, good evening.
Good evening.
What a pair of races. A bit of a battle between some people. I think you benefited from some positions with other people getting together. Tell us about your first race first, because you were on the scene of the first crime, really, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think Sam's just changed a bunch of his settings and upgraded or moved his rig around today. In his rear view mirror view was a different angle, so he thought he was clear of Wobbly, but he wasn't. So he clipped him. Wobbly got into Spencer. Then David got down the inside of me. Then I got down the inside of David. So that first half of that first lap was quite scrappy in the first race. But yeah, I just tried to keep out of trouble, and then I think Wook got a slow down, got into trouble. Sam ran into trouble. No, Sam won it, and other people were just getting slowdowns and incidents, and I was just trying to be as clean as I could all night, basically.
Yeah, and you did that very well, to be fair. Um, were you doing a bit of fuel saving in the second race? Certainly, no, nothing.
No,
Wow.
I was just driving it carefully to try to not make mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of that track, and I definitely was losing time in the corkscrew and out of the corkscrew every lap. But I was just trying to be safe, basically.
Well, it's easy to get slowdowns through that section anyway, isn't it? You can get the slowdown on the inside or the outside, or the first bit and the second bit, I should say. Um, what else happened in that second race for you? You floated to the surface quite quickly, thanks to other people, and then got into the lead. Was that as a result of the pit stops? I can't remember. Were you in the lead
No,
originally? You were, weren't you?
so I led for quite a bit because I think David picked up a slowdown quite early in the corkscrew, so I managed to get whatever second or two on him. But then he caught it back up, and then I had a really bad kink, and he did a mega overtake into the corkscrew,
Yeah,
which
we
is
saw that. Yeah.
always risky. But yeah, I let that happen. Well, I didn't let it happen. I wasn't going to be able to stop it, but I made sure I stayed wide enough to not really make it too dangerous, and just tucked in behind as best I could because he was a little bit quicker at that point. I know that David's pit stops aren't always 100% on the pace, so I was just kind of fingers crossed that I could pull a second or two on him to get back in front, which did happen. And then, of course, Wook was in the mix because he'd pitted early. But fortunately, David came out in front of Wook, so those two fought for a bit. And then Wook thought he was short on fuel for a while, so he was taking it easy. So I got a little bit lucky, and then for the last lap or so, fortunately, there was half a second. And I don't think Wook pushed it too hard in the last lap to, I wouldn't say that he was not trying, but he certainly looked for the last lap that he kind of knocked the pace back just enough to be safe, I think.
Right. Okay. Because the gap behind you and Stephen was reducing at one point, and then other things happened, and Wobbly got into the back of Spencer, and everything kind of concertinaed back out again, and left you and Stephen to battle it out for the front two positions. Where do we go from there? What a intense pair of races. Did you feel that Laguna Seca delivered for you tonight? It must do. I mean,
well, we were
chatting
in Discord between I think the first and second race there, and there's more action in the first two corners at Laguna than there was for the entire first race at Kota.
Kota, yeah, absolutely. Oh dear.
So I imagine that you didn't miss the end of this one because you probably didn't have to drink as much wine during the first race this time.
No, I couldn't. I was too busy talking the entire time. Cars disappearing off left, right, and centre, and battles just everywhere. It was great.
Yeah.
Good to see Lee Bowden in the field.
Yeah, excellent to see Lee back, and it's great to see Fiona joining as well. So a couple of an old returning name and a new name, and 28. Is that 28 cars we've had so far this season? So we've had I'm not sure how many was in tonight, but yeah, it's a really good, healthy grid that we've got as well at the minute. So it's as ever really good fun racing with the guys.
Yeah, and good to see some of the SRL guys coming over because a lot of you guys go and race in SRL as well, don't you, on the Friday?
We do. I'm not sure which SRL guys are in.
Just Lee, isn't it?
Is Lee SRL? I didn't know where he's racing with these days. I thought he was independent.
No, he's not racing for them, but he races in that league, doesn't he? So.
No.
Does he not?
No.
Oh, maybe I'm just making it all up then.
I think you are.
Probably. Never mind.
Let's try and get him in.
Yeah. So, let's see. What else? So, you've posted the individual standings. I caught you on the hop with that, I think. So,
I
Sam...
was literally in the middle of it, yes.
Yeah, Sam Blees on the top of the pile. And you've moved up to second, which is very healthy. With Spencer and Wobbly.
I needed all of my opponents to have particularly bad nights tonight. Sam won the first race, but everyone else seemed to struggle a bit. So I got a little bit lucky to get a 1-2 tonight to really kind of bring myself back in the game there because those three guys are quicker than me without a doubt. So to still be in the mix, I'm just happy with that at the minute.
Yeah, and it does kind of open up the championship for you to have a sniff at it for sure. Those three guys, though, they are super fast, aren't they? Wobbly's fastest lap, what did it end up as? A 129.9?
It was a 29.9. Yeah, he definitely engaged his grip axe tonight. Yeah, so props to whoever's driving that car from Impulse.
Yeah, too right, because it certainly ain't Wobbly. Great racing tonight. Let me check where we're at next time. I don't believe you anymore because you got. I think you got two of them wrong along the way.
It's Lime Rock chicane.
Oh,
It's Alton Park.
International no chicanes.
Yes, international without the chicanes. So that will be good. We did the media day for SRL there, didn't we? On that same track, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
was,
a really
yeah.
fun layout. It's a fun layout.
Yeah, it's a fast layout. It's super fast.
It is. We'll see if we can have a repeat of Yazgate.
With Yaz not being here, I don't think that's possible because only
Oh.
Yaz could Yazgate that.
Let's give him a BMW and mix things up.
Yeah, too right. It's the only way he'd win. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you disappear and celebrate your 2 podiums, one of them being a nice shiny win?
Yeah, big shout out to JB as well. He had a fun night's racing by the sounds of it. So I think we're happy with where we're standing in the teams as well at the minute. So fair play to him having a good night. Obviously to the rest of the guys for throwing it all off the track all night long to give me a chance.
Yeah.
Can't thank them enough. But no, just you guys for catching the end of the race and knowing that it was over.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
And yeah, no, just all the guys. It's good fun as ever. Interest, close racing but fair. And even though there was incidents tonight, the guys were just discussing it, and stuff happens and everyone's civil. So it's a really nice atmosphere. So well done, everyone.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we'll see you out next time at Alton Park. It's been great tonight, hasn't it, Alan?
oh, loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I actually got a win in this league. It's probably been a year and a half. So
What? Really?
I didn't expect it this season. So I'll take it.
Yeah, well done, mate. True
Cheers,
for you,
boys.
to be honest.
Yeah, it couldn't have gone better tonight because I don't even like that track. I'm going to be full Wookiee. I hate that track, and then go and do well on it.
Yeah, why not? Gary Craig, everybody.
Cheers, thanks, guys.
Good night.
Right then. Who do we need to get in next? I can't remember. We'll get Stephen Lucky Wookie Walker in. Is he there? Yes, he is. Live
Yes, we need to
boost,
get
Stephen.
cracking.
Yeah.
Got to move on. We've got a lot of people want to talk to you.
It's a big queue. It's a big queue. What can I say? We're so popular, Alan. That's what it is. So returning to us is Stephen Walker. Welcome back.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, indeed. First race. Let's talk about that first. Obviously, you found yourself in a bit of trouble, didn't you?
Yeah, I was a bit rusty. I only decided on Monday I was going to turn up for the race. I did one practice session, turned up at 7 o'clock tonight, warmed up a little bit, was very much not expecting to put it on pole. So I was a bit, like I say, rusty, a tad nervous if I'm being perfectly honest. I hadn't been in that situation for a while. You kind of get used to it, but because I wasn't expecting it, it took me a bit by surprise, and I started the race fairly well. And then I got a slow down. First off, I missed my braking point entirely because I was looking behind me.
Right.
And then the next lap, I got a slow down at the corkscrew, and that lent everyone
we saw
through.
that one.
And then, I sent it on David, and it would have been fine, but I just misjudged how much room to give. I thought I'd given enough room, but I was out of practice, so that one was on me, really. He had nowhere to go. There was nothing. I didn't really give him a choice of what to do, so it was my own fault. I ended up in the wall, so I apologise to him for that. But it set up a decent for race 2. Tell you that was fun.
Yeah, race 2. Wow. Everything happened. All in one race. Laguna Seca has been kind to viewers tonight because it's given them a real spectacle.
It was last time, wasn't it? Last time. It was.
A lot of people say Laguna Seca, it's boring. Actually, it's really not. It provides some absolutely mega racing.
Guess what? I really don't like this track.
I'm sorry, Gary's already. Yeah.
Yes.
Gary's
It's
already
amazing.
coined that
Nobody
one.
likes it, but crikey, we like it.
Yeah, too right.
It's not one of my favourites, but I got a bit lucky in the second race, finding space, clear air, people were pitting, and then something happened with my fuel calculator. So as David came out of the pits, I think he was the last one to pit.
He was, yeah.
Everything just messed up on my thing. So it said instead of I was using 1.4 liters of fuel, it was like on that last lap you used 2.3, and I was like, wait, no, I didn't. There's no way I could have done that. It's impossible, literally impossible. So for about 3 or 4 laps, I had no idea whether I was going to make it to the end of the race.
Right.
David went wide, so I managed to get past him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I probably would have just sat there until I figured out whether I was going to run out of fuel. So I got lucky there, and then Gary, I was kind of matching his pace, and I was saving a lot of fuel. Well, not a lot, but I was saving fuel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was trying to, like, again, still figure out while drive and not mess up, because it's such an easy track to mess up.
It is. It's
I was going to my
yeah.
brother in Cap. I was like, "How many liters of fuel do you got? How many is it saying are you going to finish? Like, how many laps is it saying?" I was like, "It's not working." I was properly stressing while trying to drive, and yeah, it turns out I finished the race with 1.2 laps of fuel left. So I probably could have gone. I could have tried to overtake Gary maybe on the second to last lap, I had a really good opportunity, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it, so I didn't want to do it, and I didn't want to ruin his race as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just try and figure something out on the last lap, but credit to him, he didn't really make a mistake. I probably pushed a bit too hard trying to do it as soon as I knew I had enough fuel.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was stressful. I was gutted because I was like, if I go from last to first, I don't think I've done that before. Without a reverse grid, and obviously you don't start last, do you? So
No.
Yeah, it was just really fun race. The second race, it was like strategy, overtaking other people, getting caught out by stuff, and having a few incidents. And lucky Walker pants came back again. But it's a race to come back to after having a little break and just chilling out and stuff. It was good. I must admit that I was very, I don't know what's wrong with me in the first race. I was really nervous. I wasn't settled, and yeah, it cost me. I could have, I think, finished in the top 3 of that race. I don't know whether I would have won with Sam behind me, and I might have made a mistake, but I think I would have had a decent result. But it was fun. Everyone was respectful on track. Couldn't really see. I'd like to apologise to Fiona for literally sending her straight into the corkscrew in qualifying. I thought I'd managed to go, oh, there's enough room there, I'll just brake here. And no,
we caught the end of that, actually. Yeah,
literally wiped her out, so I do apologise for that. But I thought I'd damaged my car, and I was like, oh, but I still got pole, so I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For being out of it for a while, you did really well.
It was weird. Yeah, it was good. Like, I'm happy with that. I'll take that. It was good to be back with everyone and all the banter and stuff. It was just what I needed.
Well,
appreciate still being here.
Yeah, cool. It's brilliant having you back. Certainly, in terms of the entertainment factor, right up there. We're on a British track next week if you're around to join us.
Which one is it?
Alton Park, international layout, no chicanes. It's going to be a speed fest.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'll have to check the layout, but in general, I tend to like Alton Park, so I'll probably be crap there. I only do one of the tracks I don't like.
Apparently so, yeah. Go on, Alan.
No,
I thought you were going to say something.
Well, yeah, no, it's great to see Stephen back with us, and he did well. I thought he did ever so well tonight, and the first race was so frenetic. You know, it was survival of the fittest, really. And yeah, you made it count in the second. And thank you for coming back, because I like to support you.
Oh, thanks, Alan. Appreciate it. It's good to be back, show my face.
Yeah.
And yeah, good. I'll watch the thing back.
Yeah, too right. Well, enjoy the podium finish there, and hopefully that'll keep you satisfied until the next race at Alton Park. Stephen Walker.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Okay, so who won the first one? Sam Blease won it.
Sam did, yeah.
Sam did. Right, let's get Sam in. Let's have a look. So
very common thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's there or thereabouts with all of them, really. But
he is, yeah. And if I'd scrolled down a bit earlier, I'd have seen his name. But apparently, I didn't scroll down the list of interview waiting room far enough to find Sam Blease. Good evening.
Good evening.
So, what a night of events for you. First race, fought your way to the front. There was all sorts going on right at the very start. You cut across the nose of Wobbly's car, didn't you? And then Wobbly freaked
early.
and moved left to try and avoid you with your fishtailing, and got Spencer. So that was about that, wasn't it? That incident there.
It was. I mean, that was completely my fault. I'm getting my racing driver's excuses in now.
Okay, cool.
So I rebuilt my rig since last race and reinstalled Windows, so everything is new. So all my field of view is slightly different, all my camera positions are slightly different, and my mirror is slightly different.
Okay.
So where his car was in the mirror, what I'm used to, meant it was clear.
Right.
But because my mirror is slightly different, it wasn't clear. So I went, oh, I can go. Went, and I hit him, and then I caused carnage. So yeah, that was completely my bad. Apologies for that one. I think it was only really Wobbly and Spencer that were affected.
Yeah. They were the only victims in that one, I think. But you then made your way strategically forward in a honestly frantic is an understatement for that first race. Me and Alan didn't know what we were doing, did we, Alan?
Wow, it was crazy, fantastic, exciting, and then over.
Yeah, and then over so fast.
Did you see the end this time?
Thank you for that. You're the third one. Cheers. Racking them up tonight. But yeah, race victory in the first one. You must have thought, brilliant. That's gonna secure me my lead at the top of the board. And then race 2 happened.
With Wobbly just going straight on at the corkscrew.
yeah. He smashed
Unusual.
it into the wall. Yeah.
I mean, when Wobbly did that, you don't see that very often,
No. I just heard him on Discord go, look out! And I look in the mirror and he's there. I was like, okay, I can't turn in.
Yeah.
And
But yeah, he did some serious damage to his car. And then describe what happened to you in the second race then, because
I mean everything.
Well,
Literally
pretty much,
everything that could possibly happen happened. It was really good fun, but it was scrappy. So me, primarily, basically, me and Spencer had a slightly rougher than usual race.
Mm-hmm.
I think we probably did 3 laps where I had about 7 0x contacts from him.
Yeah.
And then, as I was trying to defend one of them, Tony in front was a little bit slower than I was expecting, and I was a little bit ambitious with my braking point because I was alongside Spencer. And I went into the back of Tony, and then Spencer went into the back of me, and Wobbly went into the back of him, and Wook went into the back of him. So we had all of us in a line with a 4X and a crash. So yeah, I waited for Tony then, because I was still ahead, but obviously I'd knocked Tony off. So I waited for him, lost a few seconds. Then me, Wobbly, and Spencer pitted on the same lap. And came out, and I was a few seconds behind for them. And I was catching for a little bit, but then I got caught out because I had Jamie and Carl came out of the pits behind them and in front of me, so I had to battle them. So I had a good race against those two guys. But yeah, it was a bit scrappy, and I think I made a lot more mistakes tonight than probably I've made this season, which is a shame, but it happens. We all have those, and apologies to the guys it affected, but
it was fantastic, exciting.
Yeah,
it was good fun. It was
honestly.
good fun racing.
Yeah, fantastic treat for us, and nobody's going to complain about the entertainment tonight because it was superb.
It was proper
You see,
spectacle tonight.
Classy drivers having little incidents, unusual. So much close racing. It was, it's inevitable there was going to be contacts and little shuffles about. But
It's a good track for stuff like this. It's good fun because you can. It's not easy, but you can make a pass, and you can defend a pass as well. So if you do get up the inside of someone, you often find you're doing 2, 3, 4 corners where you're battling, and the advantage is just shifting left and right. So it is, it's a good track. It's one I do get on with. I'm not massively fast here compared to some others, but it's good fun for racing always. So
yeah, and where was I going to go next? I was going to go Alton Parks next time. International layout, no chicanes. It's going to be a super fast race because Alton Park's quick on that particular layout.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to that one?
Yeah, I am. I like Alton. I'm not. Again, it's not one I particularly excel at, so I'll have to put a bunch of practice in. But that's fine. Getting the rig set back up and getting everything working. So there was a few little niggles I had today, which hopefully won't be repeated next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be good racing, and just try and keep Gary now second in the championship.
I know.
And the others
Silently creeping up the table, isn't he?
yeah.
Or not so silent tonight, seeing as he won the feature race.
First and second is a cracking.
Proper polishing it off. That Audi does look mighty in certain corners, certain types of corners. It seems to be the mid-speed corners. It's got lots of grip. It can maintain the momentum, and gets really good drive. Is that a fair estimation of the Audi at the minute?
Yeah, I think so. I think it struggles in the slower stuff, but sort of fourth gear upwards, it's pretty good. And then, from about sort of top or middle of fifth gear on the straights, it really does pull away a little bit.
Yeah.
So from about 170, 180 Ks to maybe 220, the Audi is definitely the quickest car.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily good getting there. So, like, I think in a pure drag race, the probably both Elantras would win off the line. Well, not off the line. The Audi's very good off the line. But the earlier part of acceleration, both the Hyundais are a bit faster.
Right.
Then the Audi takes over, and the Honda's sort of in the middle of all of it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it does have some bits where it excels, which basically the end of straights and then the middle-ish high-speed corners. If you can get the car balanced and settled, you can really carry speed through. So I think Alton without the chicanes, it's probably going to be quite good. Alton with the chicanes, it would have been awful.
Yeah, it would.
You can't, even here, the final corner, everyone else is in first. The Audi's using third. The gearing is just so rubbish. So Alton won't be a problem. But the chicanes certainly would have been. So that would be fun. And I think it'll go well at Spa for the season finale as well. Although it will struggle there'll be a couple of corners it struggles. There'll be enough of its medium high speed and end of straight stuff that it should be quite good.
Right, very cool. We'll look forward to that. Any shout outs you want to make before we let you go and celebrate tonight?
I just say good to see new drivers, so Fiona and Lee.
Yeah.
Welcome, and always good to have more people on the grid. So that's great news. Apologies again to anyone who I screwed up, which I definitely hit Carl, but I don't think I cost him anything. And I hit Tony. Apologies to him, and then I hit Spencer about 8 times. So yeah, that was. I think they were 50-50. I think we were both basically just going, oh, if he's going to do that, I'm going to throw it in here. And, it escalated from one slightly daft move. Yeah. I don't even know who did it. It might not have been either of us.
No, we saw one particular one was Spencer going up the big hill after you'd had a little fight in the kink. You were up the big hill, and he just from miles back he managed to get it stopped in front of you. That was well impressive.
That whole couple of laps was it was good fun. But yeah, we both, I think, were more aggressive than we normally would be. And certainly we were both, or I was definitely much more aggressive than I would be with anyone who wasn't Spencer. Which is, that's part of the joy of racing with people and you get on with, and, you have a crash.
Oh, well.
Bit of swearing happens, you move on and do it all again next week. So, it was good fun. But it was, we and certainly I went a little bit beyond where I would like to have done. I know, nothing deliberate, no, but just been a bit silly, a bit over competitive.
Well, fun is what it's all supposed to be about. As long as you're having fun, keep doing it. That's what it's here for.
Indeed.
In that case, we shall see you again at Alton Park. Sam, please.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thanks, Sam.
Right then. Next, to fulfil, I think, the list of people with a podium tonight is David Johansson. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. Third in the second race, but we're going to talk about that later. First race.
Yep.
First race was the one where Stephen crossed over the front of your car, wasn't it?
Yep.
And left you with nowhere to go, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he took it on himself, so
Yeah. But what an
all good.
eventful first race that was. Yourself and
Yeah.
Jamie Jeffrey seemed to be inseparable.
Yeah.
Almost from that incident with Stephen to the very end of that race. We
Yeah,
were having a
that is-
great
that-
time watching you.
Yeah, that incident like threw me off a little bit for a few corners too. I was like missed, and then Carl and Jamie came by me there and before the corkscrew, so I was not happy about that. But
Hmm.
I clawed myself back, overtook Jamie, and then got on the back of Carl. But he was all over the place when I come up to him, and I was like couldn't pass.
Who's that,
We lost
Carl?
so much. Yeah, and we lost so much time. So Jamie passed me again because I got
Yeah, we saw that.
like a bad exit or something. I don't know what happened really, but then I got him in the end again. So
Yeah, we were loving it. So no matter how frustrating it was for you, just remember that me and Alan were having a great time. And then second race, yes, there was definitely benefit gained from some of the other racers having a bad time. But similarly to Gary, you kept out of the incidents in the second race as much as you could.
yeah, kinda. I had a few small ones.
Yeah,
Especially in the end there, so Stephen could come by easy.
right, yeah. And event-free pit stop, it looked like. Very, very calm,
Well-
very calculated. Or, go on.
Guess what? I forgot to practice it, so it was the first one I did on this track.
Oh, you're joking. It's brutal.
David.
I was like coming in, okay, this entry here is tight, but oh, holy shit, it was that tight.
Yeah.
I didn't remember
Yeah.
that. I was like,
It's a beast, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
you've done,
by a lot
done
of
well.
lead. I mean, Gary took like probably 2 seconds quicker than me in the pits because I was leading with a second when he entered, and then he had a second on me when I came out. So
Hmm. And I
It was
thought,
very exciting, David. It was very exciting, and you were there and thereabouts in every race, and yeah, right in the mix. And it was great to see. It was, and some really thrilling racing. Thank you very much.
yeah, I'm quite happy about this result for this race since I had like 30 minutes total practice today for it. So
where are you in the standings? Because you've not done every round.
P10, I think.
Yeah, you're 10th.
I got 6 less races than everybody.
Yeah.
I'm in the top almost.
I think you're doing very, very
Really
well, my
well.
friend.
Yeah, that's spot on. It's always a pleasure watching you race. Alton Park next time, no chicanes in it. International layout, so it's the long layout with no chicanes, super fast. I can see you doing well there.
Yeah, I think it's almost the favorite track on iRacing for me actually. I
Right.
love that track. So in like any car, I've been doing good in any car there. So hopefully we'll do it this time too.
Cool. That sounds very positive.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your third place in the feature race?
Shout out to Gary for the win, maybe.
Ah, yeah, good call.
nice
Good
of
call.
you.
Yeah, very, very
Good that someone else
supportive.
wins than Spencer or
Yeah.
Sam or
Yeah,
what.
very
Too
different
right,
look
yeah.
to the very different look to the podium, and yeah, very nice.
It's good for the.
It certainly is. It certainly is.
So,
Well, you played a big part in that, David. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
yeah, you certainly did. We'll let you go and celebrate your third place now. David Johansson, everybody.
Thank you.
Right then, a couple more still to go. Don't know whether Jamie's in there for an interview, but we're gonna try and surprise him and haul him into the interview room. Wasn't in mid-sentence, so always good. Good evening, Jamie Wilson.
Hello, good evening.
Evening. So, very eventful race around you tonight.
Yeah, not half.
You must have seen quite a few cars going backwards past you and thinking, hang on a minute, floating to the surface here.
Yeah.
Especially in that first race, there was all sorts going on. Where did you finish in that one? Were you 7th?
Ninth.
Ninth. Oh,
I just
yeah.
missed out on the pole.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
missed out the pole again, like last week. Oh,
Yeah.
felt
You said
for
that,
you,
Alan.
mate.
Yeah,
Really
you said
felt
that.
for you. Yeah.
So yeah, disappointing not to get the reverse pole. But blimey, seemed to battle every car on the track tonight. What was going? What was going
Yeah,
on?
it was. I don't know. I was just, like in cartoons where like you have like characters fighting and it's just a smoke cloud of just limbs everywhere. It was kind of the
Yeah.
racing equivalent of that. It's all sorts of lumps being knocked out of each other around me.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I wasn't involved in too much of that. But yeah, just kind of preying on whatever hijinks went on. Really.
Yeah, we saw you in the second race particularly. I can't remember whether it was Spencer or Sam that was behind you,
Sam.
and
Well,
you
both,
made it
but-
so difficult for him to get through. It was great
Yeah,
watching that.
Yeah, it was both. Yeah, the Geodesic boys were having like Mortal Kombat or something
They were,
going
yeah.
on,
Yeah.
and yeah, no, it was good. It was good fun. And I said to Sam, "Don't try and become a locksmith." The amount of time it took him to open the door for me with Carl towards the end there.
Yeah. Great racing, absolutely adrenaline filled. I think Alton Park's one of your favourites, isn't it? And we're there next week.
It is. I prefer the version with the chicanes and such, but yeah, no, that should be all right. It's got one of the most satisfying corners ever, which is Lodge, the last corner.
Yeah.
Just because it's over the crest and then not running wide on the exit, and then going over the elevation and stuff.
Yeah,
It's just
up
really
over
satisfying
Dearly.
to drive.
Yeah,
So.
it's a great combination of corners that. Yeah, I think that's gonna, because you can overtake there. You can definitely stuff it into that international horseshoe, hairpin at the end of the lap near the lake. You can definitely get alongside someone going through Knickerbrook and put them offline. I think it's going to be a brilliant race, that one. And the field seems very, very healthy this far into a season, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. We got some returning new drivers coming in, which is always good to see. So, yeah, that's going to be quite busy at Alton because it's so narrow. Laguna's pretty narrow, but Alton's kind of one step beyond that, isn't it? So, yeah, that'll be quite interesting. And I suppose the advantage of the no chicanes as well is that the Honda's just awful out of very slow corners. Like the last corner here was just a nightmare for me. I just could not be anywhere near parity on other cars trying to come out of there, just because I needed first and a half gear. So I need like a truck gearbox where they've got but
mid gears, yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
exactly, and like a very complicated shifter. But the if we were at the Island layout, I think that would be a struggle there, especially because that'd be uphill on the way out as well. But
Yes.
yeah, the fact that's not there might actually suit us Honda runners a little bit better than otherwise, which is good.
Cool.
Oh, well, I'm expecting to see you sticking it in impossible places again. I'm looking forward to it a great deal.
Well, that's the plan. That's the mission.
Indeed.
That's what she said, joking there somewhere.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I didn't want to go there, lower the tone. Such a professional broadcast normally. So said nobody ever. So yeah, anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go? Are we going to see Simon back for next season in this, or is he still utterly focused upon the V8s?
I think he's more focused on the V8s at the moment, and
he's doing well.
I
mean, he's
He's
working.
doing fantastic, isn't he?
Yeah.
Very, very much so. Yeah, thanks to all the AI that I've crashed into when doing practice starts in the V8 this week, or rather, have crashed into me.
Classic.
No, but seriously, thanks to you guys for putting it on. Thanks to everyone that was involved in everything that was going on, because it was although it was a bit rough around the edges. Let's be generous. None of it I think was read as
malicious or anything
like that. It was all in good faith. So, and that's credit to everyone. So, and yeah, say thanks to you guys for putting it on.
Awesome stuff. In that case, go and get yourself showered, because I'm sure that was an absolute brawl.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Jamie Wilson, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Good night, Jamie.
Right then.
We're going to have a word with P.
We are.
Oh, great.
Always good to get a new name into the league for sure. And with such a good-looking car, Matthews Logistics with Vapors. I can't remember what the last bit was. Mansfield. There we go. Fiona Siddons. Good evening.
Good evening.
So, you've been kind of watching for a while. You've finally got involved with this league. A bit of a baptism of fire here at Laguna Seca. It's a fast track, and these guys are super rapid. They can get their elbows out pretty quick. What's your initial thoughts on this league?
Good bunch of guys in it. I've been down below in the room below, chatting with them. Yeah, they're a great bunch of guys in it.
Awesome stuff. And you're no stranger to the TCR, are you? You race it in other series, don't you?
I have done, yes. Tonight's the first time I've actually done a league race for 4 or 5 months.
Oh right, okay. Oh well, I feel even better about that. You've chosen us to come and break your duck and get back into it. Great stuff. Did you feel that you needed more practice, or because this league, everybody will help you. They're such a good bunch of guys. You know, they share setups. They'll show you good lines in the corners, when to get on and off the gas, things like that. They're a good bunch, aren't they, Alan?
Oh, they're a great bunch, and it's just great to see you, FP. I'm so pleased that you're back in your rig.
Thank
I'm
you, Alan.
back on the track, mate. It's really, really nice. I know what you've been doing, and my heart goes out to you. And I'm really pleased to see you back. You're in at the deep end with these guys, though, sweetie.
Yeah, well, it's no good going against people your own speed. You don't gain any speed, do you?
That's true. That is
the faster
true.
they are, the faster you have to go.
Yeah, true enough.
This track's a love-hate relationship anyway. I love the circuit, but I just cannot click with it at all.
Everybody's got tracks like that. Don't let it put you off. We're at Alton Park next time. We're on the international circuit with no chicanes. You've raced there before, I'm guessing?
Yes, many times. I love Alton. It's a good circuit.
Yep, good stuff. Are you going to be free to join us for the last 2 rounds of the season? Oh, sorry, 4 rounds, 2 race weeks.
Yes, I will be.
Oh, brilliant! That's good. Well, yes, the grids are still very healthy in this league, so late into a season, and it's great to have new racers join us like yourself. And long may it continue. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go tonight?
Well, you guys for allowing me to come and join you, and just everybody else who's racing in the league. As I say, they're a great bunch of lads.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you're right, P. They are, and you're very welcome to be among us. It's lovely.
Next season, I should have a teammate, Jordan Sirrett. Jordan Sirrett says he's going to have a go next season.
Oh, brilliant! That's very very good. The more the merrier. It's great to have different mixes of the super fast aliens up there doing their alien thing, and sometimes getting it wrong and stuff, and then the other guys just doing it for the love of it or just getting better at it. Brilliant stuff. Great to have you in the league, Fiona, and we'll see you next time out. Fiona Siddons, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Well, Alan, that brings the interviews to a close. We've got a very difficult decision tonight. Or maybe it isn't. I don't know. I know what I want to do. I want to do an Alan and vote for my teammate. Let's just have a look at what the standings are. Jamie Jeffries leading the way at the moment in the driver of the meeting challenge or trophy or award or whatever we want to call it. It's the most coveted prize in the whole of iRacing, as we well know. Tony Yates is in second on 2, along with David Johansson, Spencer McCarthy and Jamie Wilson, and then a whole bag of people on 1. Adam Wright, Jason Haddington, Gary, Sam, Stephen, Carl, JB, Ant Woodward and Tony Walker, all on 1 point. So, Well, who's going first, you or me?
Well, you go first this week. It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. So, head and heart wants to say Gary. He's got a win, and by his own admission, he didn't expect to get that, especially with the guys that race in this league. But he's got a 1 and a 2. I don't think I can ignore that, but I'm going to look down the field. David Johansson's done really well in both races, really, to be fair. Stephen Walker, almost no practice, comes back, does Stephen Walker things, ends up with a pole, ends up with a second place, has a bit of a ropey first race, so maybe not. Let's have a look down the list. Wobbly didn't have a good night. Spencer had a bit of a ropey night. Samblees, Grace first race, middling second race. Jamie Wilson solid all the way through. Middle of the field. Similarly, Carl Hardy, he did get a podium though, didn't he? Got himself a third place.
He raced hard.
I've got to do it. I've got to go with Gary. A race win and a second place in this company. Too good.
I think that's Well, I'm pleased you've given it Gary because I think he's well deserved it, and I'm going to give mine to David because I think he's well deserved it as well, Mr. Johansson.
Yeah, definitely. So let me find David's. I'll put his point on there, and then I'll find Gary and drop his point on there. Well, I think we've got. If I go back to the main site now and find where I was a minute ago, standings of driver of the meeting. So yeah, that puts David joint top with Jamie Jeffrey.
Oh, 2 new drivers to the league, and they're both been outstanding.
They have lots of. Well, Jamie's raced with us before in other leagues. David Johansson definitely new to us. But yeah, and they've been duking it out together tonight, all the way through the first race. So it goes to prove the cream does rise to the top, doesn't it? Has to be said. We will see you all next time out at Oulton Park. We are in V8 action this weekend. Although for the life of me, it's been a long day, let's say. I can't remember where the hell we are. I should do. Right, so we're at Daytona Road for the endurance race. 2 hours of V8s around Daytona. It's always a great race, that one. It's fantastic. The field is still very strong and very well attended. And I think it'll attract more drivers from the big pool that we've got registered for that because it's Daytona. That's going to be a good one, that, Alan.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that, Pete. I won't miss that. I've been looking forward to the debates at Daytona. The car's going to love the track, and it's a fantastic field of talent you've got there as well.
Yeah, it is. Some of the best races in V8s in the world in that league, and they demonstrate it on a regular basis. As we said before, Simon Trendle's leading that one. Don't miss that. We'll be back here, as we've discussed many times, for Oulton Park. This time next week. I won't be missing it, obviously, and nor will Alan. And we hope that you join us as well. Follow us on Twitch. Keep up with us on YouTube and on Twitter. And I'll say goodnight. I'll let Alan say goodnight, and then we'll wrap up the broadcast. So thanks again to all the new racers that have joined us tonight, the racers that turned up and gave us such a spectacle, and you guys at home for watching. And thanks to you, Alan, for joining me again and being a brilliant co-host. And I'll see you all next week.
Well, folks, what an evening we've had. And the drivers have done us proud. The track did us proud. And we've got Oulton next week. Heavens. Bring it on. Good night.